Hello, welcome back to Project Mastery Podcast. Let's start with the first question. Thinking and acting like data scientists requires taking what is yours, taking responsibility for your actions, taking care of the data, taking care of the vendor relationship. The right answer is option C. You need to take responsibility for your actions. Moving on to the next question. An organization is to undertake multi-pattern AI project. They want to build a robot that is able to roam the halls as well as converse with employees and answer basic questions. What is the best approach for handling this project? You either run it as one project combining teams' data requirements, or you're going to run each pattern as its own project, or you want to run it as an hybrid approach, or you want to run each pattern in isolation with separate teams. The right answer is you need to run each pattern as its own project or work stream with their own CPMAI phase iteration, data requirements, and project or workstream needs. A multi-pattern AI project involves distinct AI functionalities or patterns that have different technical requirements, different data needs, and different development process. In this case, the robot's ability to roam the halls, like involving computer vision, navigation, robotics, and the ability to converse and answer questions involving natural language processing and conversation AI represents two different AI patterns. Running each pattern as its own project or work stream is the best approach because specialist teams, different AI patterns require different expertise. Example, robotic engineer for movement, NLP specialist for conversation. Separate teams ensure focused attention on the domain. It is also required because the data requirements are distinct. The data needed to train navigation models differ substantially from conversation data. Managing data independently helps maintain quality and relevance. Each pattern will have its own lifecycle, including feasibility, data collection, modeling, testing, and deployment. Running phases independently allows tailored approach and better risk management. There's going to be clear project management. Separating work streams prevents complexity overload in a single project and is going to allow clear tracking of progress, milestones, and deliverable. Moving on to the next question. The key components to effective data visual storytelling includes data management, buy-in visuals, or data storyline plot twist, or data character development suspenseful ending, or data storyline visuals. You would have found the answer by now. The right answer is data storyline visuals. These are the key components of effective data visual storytelling. It's all about data, storyline, and visuals. Moving on to the next question. Which type of RPA bot is best for pulling data from various internal systems and automatically generating reports of that data? Is it going to be attended or unattended bot, or is it going to be both, or you're saying that RPA is not possible? The answer is option B, which is unattended bot. Moving on to the next question. What is data visualization used for in the context of analytics? Are you going to apply quantitative technique or qualitative technique or graphical technique or generative technique? The right answer is option C, applying graphical techniques to provide visual understanding of data. Moving on to the next question. Your team is working on an AI system to provide a more personalized experience from customers on your website. What should the team do in regards to determining the pattern of AI in relation to project ROI? Are you going to first talk to senior manager who says the ROI? Are you going to first identify the objective you're trying to solve or the ROI you desire? Or you want to determine the AI pattern you want to use and then work with stakeholders to come up with ROI? Or you want to identify the AI pattern you want to use and then figure out the ROI? The right answer is you need to first identify the objective you are trying to solve or the ROI you desire and then use that along with the cognitive requirements to figure out that correct pattern. This is one of the most important fundamental understanding when we talk about business understanding phase. Moving on to the next question. What is data intuition? Is it all about knowing how to clean data, or is it about knowing what analytical approach best suits the data, or is it about knowing what the business will support for data scientists, or it is about knowing which vendor product is the best fit? The right option is option B, where you need to know what analytical approach best suits the data. Moving on to the next question. Enhancing and cleaning data is an important action during which phase of CPMAI? The right answer is phase 3. Phase 3 is the phase where data cleaning and enhancing happens. Raw data is cleaned, transformed, and enhanced. Data inconsistencies, duplicates, missing values are addressed. Features may be extracted, selected, engineered to better support model training. Data is formatted, refined in a particular version that is usable by AI or ML algorithms. This phase is crucial to the success of AI project as poor quality data results in poor model performance. Proper data preparation ensures that the models trained in later phases are based on reliable, meaningful, relevant information. Moving on to the next question. You are working with petabyte of data and need to make this data set more manageable. You want to reduce the number of variables under consideration. What is the name for this process? Is it gradient descent, data selection, multivariate, or dimensionality reduction? Dimensionality reduction is the right answer. When working with very large datasets, one common challenge is the high number of variables or features. Many of these variables may be redundant, irrelevant, or highly correlated, which can slow down model performance and increase complexity. Dimensionality reduction is going to help in reducing the variables under consideration. It's a process of reducing the number of input variables or features in a dataset while preserving as much relevant information as possible. Dimensionality reduction is extremely important as it is going to improve the model performance and speed. It's going to reduce overfitting by eliminating noise. It's going to make visualization easier, especially when reducing to 2D or 3D. It's going to enhance storage and processing efficiency. Moving on to the next question. Your team is working on a project and is running into an issue. You need someone on the team who is able to solve problems in environments of uncertainty, can deal with failure, and has the MAC and data visualization skills needed to communicate the results with others so the issues can be solved. What role would be most suited for this? Is it going to be data scientist or project manager, data engineering? Your answer is right. It is going to be data scientist. Data scientist is the role best suited for solving complex problems in an uncertain environment. They have the specialist skills needed to work effectively with uncertainty. Data scientists will deal with incomplete or noisy data. They must take informed decisions or predictions despite uncertainty. Data scientists need to handle failure. They need to iterate. Experimentation, iterative testing are the core parts of the workflow. It's going to allow the data scientists to learn from failures and improve models continuously. Data scientists need to apply advanced mathematics, advanced statistics. They use mathematical models, statistical analysis, ML algorithms to extract insights from data. They also need to communicate insights through data visualization. Data scientists are skilled at translating complex results into clear visual stories and report that to stakeholders, help stakeholders understand and act upon. These combined skills enable data scientists to identify issues, propose solutions, help the team resolve challenges. Moving on to the next question. What is an array? Is it artificial intelligence that is meant to address the broad range of intelligence capabilities? Or is it going to focus on task-specific application? Or is the ability to fit AI application to a very small device? Or just about the general concept of AI? The right answer is second option. Task-specific application of AI meant to address specific cognition needs. Moving on to the next question. What role of the organization is responsible for enforcing policies around data usage and security? Is it a data scientist or a data engineer or a data steward? The right answer is data steward. Data steward's role is to enforce policies around data usage and security. Moving on to the next question. Major factors for the project you are currently working on is around training time, cost, complexity of training your models. Which algorithm is not the best choice given these constraints? Is it SVM or naive-bayes or neural network or Gaussian mixture? The right answer is neural network. Please note the question. It's mentioned which algorithm is not the best choice given these constraints. Neural networks are not the best choice given training time, cost, complexity constraints. There is high training time involved. Neural networks, especially deep learning models, require significant amount of time to train, particularly with large data sets and complex architecture. This can be a major drawback when project timelines are tight, and it's going to have high computational cost. Training neural network demands substantial computational resources such as GPU specialized hardware, and this will definitely increase the cost compared to simpler algorithms. Complexity of model design and tuning is also a factor. Design, training, and tuning neural network involves many hyperparameters, architecture choice, making the process complex and requires specialized expertise. This increases both the time and effort needed from the project. Hence, based on a particular situation, based on the constraints, you need to choose the right algorithm. Moving on to the next question. What is a learning curve measure? Learning curve is going to measure how the ML model measures against KPI, or how it performs in a real-world scenario, or how it is learning over multiple iteration. What is the right answer? The right answer is the third option, where learning curve is going to measure how the machine learning model is learning over multiple training iteration. Moving on to the next question. You just joined a new company and you want to start their first AI project. Senior management thinks the best approach is to just buy AI from a vendor. You know that AI is something you do, not something you buy. What is your next best course of action to address this? Are you going to share what vendor solutions you used on prior projects? Are you going to say nothing, let the team figure it out themselves? Or are you going to have the senior management do research on AI vendors? Or are you going to share the documentation on CPMAI workbook? The right answer is you need to share documentation from your CPMAI workbook and prior experiences with AI projects to show how methodology is more important than tool selection. This is the best course of action because it helps shift the mindset of the senior management from seeing AI as a product you simply buy to understanding AI as a process-driven initiative. AI success is not primarily about the tool or vendor chosen. It is about how well the project is planned, how well the project is structured, how well the project is aligned to business goals, and executed using sound methodology like cognitive project management for AI. By sharing the document and the real experience, you're going to help educate leadership about the realities of AI implementation. You establish the AI maturity depends on understanding the business problem, data readiness, IT development, proper project governance. You position yourself as a valuable resource who can guide the team through a methodology-based AI journey rather than a vendor-dependent one. Moving on to the next question. Exploration versus exploitation trade-off is an issue in which type of machine learning? Is it either supervised or semi-supervised or unsupervised reinforcement? You would have guessed the answer. The right answer is reinforcement learning. Moving on to the next question. Trustworthy AI frameworks should require which individuals, the organizations to be trained in the proper development and use? Is it going to be AI project owners or all stakeholders or data science, ML engineers or legal compliance risk management? The right answer is all relevant stakeholders in the organization. All relevant stakeholders in the organization need to be trained in the proper development and use of trustworthy AI frameworks. How many patterns of AI are there? Is it 1 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 9 or 12? The right answer is 7. There's a separate episode, exclusive episode, which talks about the 7 AI patterns. Request to watch the episode and gain immense knowledge on these AI patterns. Moving on to the next question. You have built your model and now need to see if it actually works as expected. In which phase of CPMAI is this done? The right answer is phase 5. Phase 5 is known as the model evaluation and validation phase. This is the critical stage where the team tests the built model to ensure it performs as expected on new or unseen data. During phase 5, the model accuracy, reliability and overall effectiveness are assessed using various evaluation metrics and testing techniques. This phase helps identify any issues such as overfitting, underfitting, bias and ensures model meets the project's business technical requirements before it is deployed. Therefore, phase 5 is appropriate phase to verify if the model works as intended and to validate its readiness for operation use, making this as the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. You are establishing data engineering pipeline. Which of the following needs is least important to your effort? Data ingestion or data governance or data transformation or algo selection? Algorithm selection is the right answer. The question says least important. When you are focused on establishing the data engineering pipeline, your primary responsibility involves handling data flow, quality and preparation. We're talking about data ingestion, we're talking about data transformation, we're talking about data governance here. These activities are core to data engineering pipeline because they ensure that the AI models will have high quality, well-managed data to work. On the other hand, algorithm selection is primarily part of the model development phase, which happens after the data pipeline is established and the data is ready. Choosing the right algorithm depends on understanding the data and project objectives, but it is not a core function of data engineering itself. Therefore, when you focus on the data engineering pipeline, algorithm selection is the least important among the list needs because it belongs more to data science and AI modeling teams rather than data engineering. Moving on to the next question. Which AI pattern has a long time to ROI? Is it conversational or predictive or automation or autonomous? The right answer is autonomous systems. Next question. How often should the AI governance board or committee meet? Quarterly basis or whenever there is a crisis or as often or very often as long as AI projects are developed? We need to meet very often as long as AI projects are being developed. Moving on to the next question. You are working with a large data set of tabular structured data and you need to be able to obtain answers relatively quickly. Which algorithm is the best choice given these constraints? Is it going to be neural network or decision tree or random forest or autoencoder? The right answer is decision tree. If you look at the question, there's a clue here. Data set of tabular structured data. Decision trees are particularly well suited for tabular structured data because they are able to make efficient fast predictions. They provide quick inference since the prediction process involves traversing a tree based on feature thresholds, which is computationally inexpensive compared to more complex models like neural network. Interpretability. They are able to offer clear interpretable decision rules, making it easier to understand and validate the model's predictions. They are able to handle large datasets effectively. Decision trees can scale to large datasets without excessive computation overhead, providing timely results. There is no need for extensive feature scaling. Unlike some algorithms, decision trees work well without requiring heavy data pre-processing. Option C, random forest improves accuracy by combining multiple trees. They are more computationally intensive and slower in making predictions compared to single decision tree. Neural network option A tend to require more computation and tuning, especially for tabular data. Autoencoders option D mainly used for unsupervised learning and dimensional reduction, not for quick prediction in tabular data. Moving on to the next question. Trustworthy AI framework is a living, evolving asset, should continue to be iterated on to remain relevant. The framework should be revised weekly or monthly or quarterly, or as needed. The right answer is, it's not weekly or monthly or quarterly, it should be revised as needed. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following role is not involved in the data quality management? Is it CDO or data analyst or data steward or data custodian or CISO? Data analyst, data steward, data custodian, CDO are all part of data quality management. So the right answer is Chief Information Security Office, CISO. Please note the question says which role is not involved in data quality management. Moving on to the next question. How many different AI tech environments are there? The right answer is 4. Moving on to the next question. Is there a machine learning platform? Yes or no or maybe? The answer is no. Moving on to the next question. What sort of skills do data scientists need to have? Is it hard and soft skill, or is it math skill or science skill or development skill? The right answer is hard as well as soft skills. Next question. The team is working to build a data preparation pipeline for the conversation chatbot. Which phase of CPMA is this done? This is done as part of phase 3. Phase 3 is focused on data preparation. This phase involves building a data pipeline that will feed clean, structured, usable data into a model. When a team is working on building data preparation pipeline, they are going to clean, transform structured data, handle missing values, ensure data is in the correct format. These are the core activities as part of this phase. Moving on to the next question. Besides limiting the amount of data used for training, what are the benefits can be realized from data filtering? Are we going to introduce dataset bias or reduce dataset bias or improve model security or assist with vendor selection? The right answer is it's going to help in reducing dataset bias. Next question. Basic requirements for responsible AI should be considered in what phase of AI implementation? After data collection, or after model development, or after project go live, or customers complain, or after requirement gathering, or at the beginning? The right answer is basic requirements for responsible AI should be considered at the beginning during business requirement gathering. Moving on to the next question. You recently built a car image recognition model. You must identify animals. You can speed up development using a technique. What is the technique called? Is it Gen AI or pre-trained or reinforcement or transfer learning? The right answer is transfer learning. Transfer learning is a machine learning technique where a model that has already been trained on one task is repurposed for a new but related task. Instead of training a model from scratch, you start with a pre-trained model and fine-tune it for a specific application. This saves time, computational resource, improves performance, especially when the new dataset is small. In this scenario, you previously built a model to recognize different type of cars. Now you're going to build a model to recognize different type of animals. While these are different classes, they are all image recognition tasks and low-level features like edges, shapes, which are common across many images. Transfer learning lets you leverage the foundation learning, example how to detect visual features from the car project and apply it to the animal recognition task with minimal additional training. Next question. As a good rule of thumb, when deciding if AI is right for the project, the choices are statistical, deterministic, programmatic, probabilistic. The right answer is when you need a probabilistic solution to a problem, it is a good fit for an AI project. AI and cognitive solutions excel at solving problems where uncertainty and variability exist, which often requires probabilistic solutions rather than strictly deterministic or rule-based approach. Probabilistic solutions deal with uncertainty, incomplete data, or complex patterns that cannot be easily captured by fixed rules or deterministic logic. AI models such as machine learning algorithms learn from data and make predictions or decisions based on probabilities, allowing them to handle ambiguity and adapt to new scenarios. In contrast, deterministic or programmatic rule-based solutions are best suited for problems where clear, explicit rules exist and the problem can be solved by following those rules exactly. These are easier to code directly without AI. Thus, when a problem cannot be efficiently solved with static rules or manual automation due to scale or complexity, AI is a strong candidate because it works well with probabilistic reasoning. This rule of thumb helps decide if AI is appropriate. If the solution involves uncertainty and probabilistic outcome, AI is likely the right approach. We have come to the end of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in.